So after he crashed at Wembley, he told everyone he was going to retire, and then he decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to the United States and jump 14 buses. So.
Cymru and Wembley 2025. Woo! 2012 we had the first RIDE Cymru, which was only going to be a one-off to raise £1,000, and here we are now, 2025, and I think we're on £285,000. 3 years. 3 years we rode as civilians, and in 2015 we became Cymru Knievels, wearing the suits of the great legend EVEL Knievel. I thought we had to improvise, bring some fun, and nothing better than the suit of EVEL Knievel. Everybody would recognise it. A great man. So if we all give EVEL Knievel a clap of The Knievel family, I've heard about us online on the internet. They've supported us, they've endorsed the event, and they're attending with us tonight and this coming weekend. So thanks very much for coming over. Great engagement.
Put 90,000 people in Wembley. When you think about it, his act was 10 minutes. I mean, he got on his motorcycle and drove around and drove up and down and did wheelies and was star-spangled and gave a speech and had people on the edge of their seat, and his act was 10 minutes. That's how captivating the guy was. So after he crashed at Wembley, he told everyone he was going to retire, and then he decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to the United States and jump 14 buses. So, I mean, his back was broke, his pelvis was crushed. I'm not going to go out that way. I'm going to jump one more bus. I mean, that's just a testament to the man's character.
Again, John Hood is there with EVEL Knievel, discussing whatever you discuss at this moment. EVEL Knievel is very intense. I talked to him a few moments ago before he came out of the van, and his total concentration now is getting that bike off the approach ramp and onto the landing ramp, and he's not hesitating. He'll go. Can you hear me, Doug? I'm going to work for it.
How old were you when his fame took off? You know, I'm on about before Snake River.
Probably I was in the mid-70s, so I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Tracy was a teenager. We were,
No,
Alicia wasn't born yet.
You were 6 about 6 at Caesar's, Cal.
And I was 8 at Caesar, so.
You were 8 at Caesars.
Yeah, so I was 13, 14 years old when he was at the height of his fame.
What was it like to be a child of the world's most famous daredevil?
Oh, thank God we're raised in a small town. That's all I can say. of celebrity today, you think of the Kardashians and
Social media.
yeah, it wasn't that way for us. We were born and raised in a small town. Our great-grandparents were from that town.
We all knew each other, the town knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no
We were just
reporters
part of
chasing us around. There was no.
Jump. Whose idea was that initially? Was that your father's idea, or was he approached from the UK to do this jump?
Okay, so after the Snake River Canyon jump, it's like he had a letdown in his career.
I think Evil asked us all to be silent and wish him well in the last 30 seconds. And so we will all stop talking now for this last 30 seconds to count down. Happy landing, Evil. Five, four, three, two, one. Come on! Okay, Eagle, stay with the bird, stay with the bird. It looks like you're going to go into the canyon. You had a premature shoot. You have a good shoot on you. Come on. Stay with the vehicle, stay with the vehicle. Put your visor up as you can. You cannot see it now. There she goes, beneath the rim of the canyon. It's going to crash, obviously, into the river. It is okay, though. She's coming down about 17 feet per second, slowly going down. It has just cleared the rocks, thank God. It looks like he is in the water. Robert Craig Knievel appears to have landed in the Snake River.
Like, he did the Snake River Canyon jump, and he just had half the people were saying, "Oh, you pulled the chute out on purpose," and it was like a blow against his ego. It's like, I don't know how. Like, you could live or die, and somehow he managed the in-between. He didn't make it across the canyon. His rocket didn't land in the river. Banged up against the side of the canyon and fell over onto a sandbar, and he survived with it.
Got a bloody nose.
Yeah, got his face scrapped up. So it's like, I mean, what's he going to do? Retire to a white picket fence and grow a garden? I mean, he's Evil Knievel for crying. So he had to think of something. And I don't know whose idea it was to come to England, but that's how he ended up at Wembley Stadium. Was, okay, I've done everything, or I've done a lot in the United States, and there's a whole new world out there. And your Brits have our temperament. I remember he went to France with my mom, and no one knew who he was. He couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Yeah, so as you say, Wembley Stadium, you know, one man and 90,000 people in there.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable, amazing.
For the first time, he saw an opportunity, and he wasn't afraid. My dad's personality was like a freight train. There was nothing going to stop that man from being somebody. And when you think about it, he was born and raised in Butte, Montana, a small working class miners town, and he was raised by his grandparents, and somehow in 1968 he made a jump, and 5 years later he was the most famous person in the United States. That's a sheer will of personality, and for me to describe or explain how someone has that powerful of a desire and a drive to go on and do the things that Evil Knievel did, I had no idea. I wish I could explain that to people, but he was just that powerful of a desire to be somebody and be famous and capture people's attention, and it was just a drive of personality.
But I can also share, when he was a little boy, our great-grandparents, who we knew, because my grandma lived to be 103, who raised my father. So she said when they were young, he would ride his bicycle in the back alley, and he would jump over garbage cans. So before the you know, before the other stuff started, he started out in the alley, jumping garbage cans.
I think I have read somewhere that obviously his grandparents brought him up, as you say, and he took his grandfather's garage doors off to use as ramps.
He probably did. I don't know.
What aspects of their father's personality were most apparent in their daily family life? The public persona of Evel Knievel was so large, I wonder what he was like at home.
The same. He really was.
The same.
He
I
was-
mean, no difference
Yeah.
between what you saw in public and how he acted at
He
home.
was.
No difference at all.
He was a complex, intense, wonderful. All the adjectives you can think of were our father. Yeah.
Were they ever scared watching his stunts, and how did they cope with that? It must have been a unique experience to witness such dangerous feats.
Probably each of us have a different answer for that, but for me, he would crash, he would come home, he was just so positive. Like, you weren't ever afraid he was going to die. He might get hurt, but he was tough. He would come home, he would heal up, and he would go back out and be Evel Knievel. So that, for me, I don't know about my sisters. For me, though, like that was my normal experience. I wasn't ever afraid that he was going to die, or it's okay, he might crash, but he'll heal up.
Not even in the Snake River.
I really thought he was going to die at the Snake River. And I think he did too, because he had a picture made for our mother of the canyon, and he had Kelly run in the last minute and put it up on the wall, and it said,
I don't remember.
I love you, Linda. Love, Bob. Still makes me cry. But he thought he was going to die too, and I thought we all, except for Kelly, I guess, thought he was going to die. And that day, like Kelly explained, you know, he comes back up with a bloody nose, and I thought, oh, you know, you're like emotionally ready for him to die, and then you just knew, here we go again. Like, I wonder what he's going to do next.
Evel Knievel is standing in the boat and waving. He is alive and well. I think at this point we can all say thank God.
Looks okay, Mr. Knievel.
Yeah.
I just saw the clear but it looks okay. We'll show you on the monitor.
Where's Robbie now?
Come on, get the kids. We'll go in the ABC truck. Come on.
Where's Kelly? Jack. They said he's okay.
Follow that, Linda. Excuse us.
We're with you. Well, maybe he didn't clear the canyon, and maybe his dream did not come true. But at least he's alive and well, and he tried. I would imagine right now Mrs. Knievel is as limp as a rag. We understand she is in the mobile unit beneath our announce stand here in the tower, and she is very, very happy. A very happy woman.
So at one point he was so broke in his life, he'd hawked all of his jewelry, he gave all his motorcycles and equipment to this guy who loaned him money on it, and I bought it all out of Hawk, and I bought all his stuff back. And then I made an agreement with him where I would own everything. He for the rest of his life, you know, there's no dealing with my dad, or your arm would come off its shoulder. So you had to keep him at arm's length. So I leased everything back to him for the rest of his life. And then he sat me down one day after I got everything back and I paid everything. He said, Kelly, I'm going to be worth more dead than alive. And if you can't make any money off of it, you don't deserve any. And that's just the kind of man he was. Just had an accurate view of reality and an accurate view of the world.
This is a question for Tracy, and what would it be?
What's heaven like? Yeah, they're both believers, and so we're going to see him again, and I wonder what they're doing up there. Growing up like Kelly and Robbie and I did, it was such our norm for our lives. We didn't know any different. This is what our dad did for a living. Until I got to be about 5th grade. And then I realized, I think my life is different. Like, her dad comes home for dinner every night and sits with their family around the table and eats dinner, and he's a pharmacist. He goes to work, he comes home, you know, it's like, and I started to realize how different my life was, but it wasn't until then. And then I started to realize, I think, how famous my father was. Because we'd go to different states, and that's when I kind of realized, what are all these people like lining the roads, you know, welcoming us into a city or something like that. It slowly started to dawn on me, kind of, oh, you know, these people in Florida know my father, you know, like that. And so it was just kind of our lives that way. And then when Robbie, so yeah, we lived with that, and it was just our norm. But then as I got older and really realized the risk, Robbie just freaked me out. Like, I had a really hard time watching Robbie. He was awesome. He was an incredible jumper, but the risk, knowing he could die every time, and he did some spectacular jumps.
Yeah.
When he lands, it's all break. Here's the run. Knievel attempting to jump the Grand Canyon. He's hit the gap. He makes it. He's off the bike.
I felt that way too about Robbie.
It was hard to watch him, and sometimes I couldn't go live, so I just tell my family, call me when he's done, tell me he's alive. I can't do this. I can't even watch him live anymore. So yeah, it just does something to you when it's your family. And then Kelly was just honestly the sweetest, kindest, biggest brother any sister could ask for my whole life.
Oh,
yeah, so.
I don't remember any of that.
Myself and our dog Mubsy traveled in here, and the ramps and motorcycles were in here. And there was a little crawl space through here where we could crawl up and sit with Mom and Dad. There was like a sleeper bed right there. And yeah, so this is pretty awesome.
It was an exciting childhood.
Oh, it was. It was up and down and up and down.
Now, I'm going to ask Alicia. So, Alicia, what year did you come along, if I may ask?
79.
In 1979?
Yeah.
So, you arrived after the heady days, but obviously you were still a global name. How was your childhood?
They always say in all the documentaries. And then Alicia was born. And then he lost everything. So yeah. These guys had yachts and airplanes. My mom pulled me around in a sled.
Or something in the United States, and my dad on this little goofy hockey team in Butte, Montana, and he talked the Czechs into coming to Butte, Montana to play a hockey game. And of course they beat him like 50-0. It was just that he couldn't speak Czech. It was just his sheer personality. I mean, it would be like if you got Manchester to come and play a soccer game here, for crying out loud. I don't know how he did it.
How do you guys, obviously having such a famous grandfather, how do you guys, what's your take on that,
I feel like it affects us differently than them, because they got to experience all of his glory and his stunts firsthand. And us, we got to experience a lot of it, but we get to experience more just the reenactment and all the cool stuff like this, and the anniversaries and stuff of all the cool things he accomplished.
We can see how he inspired people and what it made them do, watching him do it when they were kids. That's really cool. Yeah, like Travis Pastrana.
Yeah.
Doing all those crazy jumps.
He's inspired so many, isn't he?
And there's another thing that goes on, like these guys' last name is Vincent, that's Alicia's husband over there, Matt Vincent. So like every time I take out my driver's license and my credit card and give it to somebody, like every single time, someone will go, are you related to Evil Knievel? Like 10 times a day it happens to me. So it's a big difference when you don't, or when people don't know who your last name is.
With you from this week in Wales.
It's been really, really great here. You guys are, like you said, so nice, so welcoming. I like you guys' food a lot. It's very good. I like that a lot. Yeah. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us. Beautiful country, and it's just, this is a cool program that you guys are running, and you do great things. Thank you.
Like Blair said, thank you for having